Hey guys, welcome to Geeky Guy Comics. Now it's another week down, another Batman comic to get through. This time it is Batman 96. It's time for the review. Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back. Now, as I mentioned, Batman 96 dropped yesterday, and as the previous storylines have fantastically led us into this new Joker War story, I really did have high expectations for this issue, and I was really hoping it would continue with the same ferocity as the issues before it, but unfortunately, guys, that didn't happen. I mean, it really hasn't moved on to the actual storyline yet that everyone is waiting for. I mean, everyone's waiting for the Joker War, everyone's waiting for the action, and don't get me wrong, because a few flashbacks and flash forwards are always great, but for me, this issue just felt a bit needless and it fell a bit short, if I'm honest. That was, okay, I will give it, that was until the end. Now, don't think this review is just me ranting about how let down I feel with this issue, because it's not. The whole story arc has gripped me, and probably everyone else reading this comic from the start. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one who reads the previous issues in excitement as the build up to the Joker War event. It has been seriously amazing, but do we really need to be reminded of how bad things have got since Batman kind of lost his grip on Gotham? I mean, come on, Tinian, we've all been there, we've all seen the bad things, we were basically there with you. I mean, I've read the 95 issues, so please don't bore us with going over it all again and again and again. Don't lose it now, you're 96 issues. I mean, even though this issue was enjoyable, it's time to pick up the pace, if I'm honest, and seriously get shit started. I mean, I get that the writers like to add more drama to the stories, like when we see the riots happening in the city and Batman's up there watching, but when we've already watched it happen and we're trying to watch it happen again, it's quite simply boring. I will say one thing though, and that is, however, at the end of the previous issue, we see that Batman was attacked by the Batwing when he was battling Punchline as he infiltrated Wayne Industries. Now this is where Batman 95 ended, so I was really excited to see where this issue would pick up from. Did Batman die? Didn't he? Let's find out. It may contain some spoilers, so do not continue if you don't want to know. So this issue begins with a flash forward of Gotham years on from the present comics that we're reading. It's clear to see that the city, basically, it survived the doom of the Joker War. Batman won and is unfortunately, yes, he is wearing that hideous suit, first seen in last issue. Am I the only one who hates this? Leave a comment below, because I honestly think this is a serious talking point. But yeah, just let me know. I think, getting back to it, the city is obviously transformed into some very futuristic looking place, and it's at this point we hear some chatter from Batman, and we can only assume that it's because Batman's chasing someone down, and it's when a young boy suddenly gets a message on his phone that tells him to step back from the road, and by doing this, all of a sudden we see, boom, Batman like speeds past in a Batmobile. No, he's in a Batcycle and he's chasing down Mr. Freeze, and it's at this point then there's like two little boys that jump out of Mr. Freeze's van that appear to be his children. I mean, when the hell did this happen? I don't remember reading this. If you do and you know how it happened, let me know, because I'm #confused.com, I really am. So anyway, the Freeze family, they start chatting for a moment before they come face to face with a speeding Batman, and they decide the best course of action is obviously to shoot him with freeze rays. I mean, why wouldn't you? The Batcycle uses the heat ray technology to free Batman from the ice, and he goes on the offensive, kicking ass, and Batman does what he's able to do, and it's easily incapacitate the young boys, who are hilariously called Popsicle and Snow Cone. No, it's called Ice Pop and Snow Cone. And then he manages to get them, and then he gets Mr. Freeze. And then when he's back in the Batcave, we find out that he's talking to Alfred, and that all members of the Bat family are alive and well. But it's as Batman is leaving the cave, Alfred speaks to him strangely, and then we see his neck snap, his face starts to change, and a Joker smile appears on Alfred's face, and it's here that Batman suddenly wakes up from this garish nightmare that he's been having. It's then that we flash forward to the present, and we see Batman wake up in a bitched up apartment with none other than my favourite character, Harley Quinn, there with him. Hallelujah, she has survived. Boom, I know that bitch Punchline didn't kill her, and she reveals that she was able to survive the attack from Knifeline, or whatever her name is, as she tells Batman that he's been out for 3 or 4 days because of the Joker toxin that Punchline injected him with, and it's been flowing through his body. I'm going to take a second to pause here because I have to say I love the interactions that Harley and Batman have, as it's a kind of like love-hate relationship type of thing. I mean, we've seen it in previous issues and it's great to see it again. It's just awesome in my opinion. He wants to put her back in Arkham, but then on the other hand, he really don't. And I mean, Tinian, you must have a trick up your sleeve, man. Come on, you've got to let us at least see one kiss at least. No, come on. Okay, well anyway, so Gotham's struggling more than ever with the Joker using Bruce's money to outfit his gang with all types of new toys, which has also brought most members of other gangs to join up, making their numbers much higher and the violence and all the action much higher, because plenty of civilians are now begun taking things into their own hands because the police have basically been unable to do anything due to the underbroker. And it's at this point we get a fantastic first appearance from the Clownhunter, which, even though in my opinion he looks like Pennywise's younger annoying brother, I reckon he could actually turn out to be a decent character. And then after this, Harley tries to do a quick examination of Batman, but he demands to know what's going on with the Joker. It's here that she reveals that Punchline is making more of the Joker toxin that she used on him, and it's because of the underbroker. She's using the underbroker and his lawyers. They're tying up GCPD, which is going to basically force him out of the picture, and they're going to run the show. She then informs Batman that the Joker has bought out every single TV station, radio station in Gotham, and shows him a video that's been doing the rounds, which invites everyone to the movie theatre to watch the film The Mask of Zorro, which, like myself, the hardcore fans of us will know that this is the film Bruce went to watch when he was a child with his parents on that ill-fated night. Then we flash back, Batman starts to hallucinate again, he sees his parents die, and then their faces contort to Joker smiles again. Batman then suddenly hears Alfred's voice in his head, at which point Harley tries to inject him with a tranquilizer, but that didn't work. He bitch slaps her out of the way, smashes through the window, jumps out of the apartment, lands on the floor, down a manhole, makes his way through Gotham, and then stops a few of the Joker gang members while he's on his way to where the Joker is, which is obviously the Monarch Theatre, because that's the one that's on Park Row. As he makes his way there, all the while he's still got Alfred's voice in his head, and I know he knows it isn't real, but the hallucination, he don't want to stop it because it's kind of him still feeling that Alfred's around. But as he walks into the theatre, he's not sure why it looks as it did when he was a kid, because is it the Joker's toxin that's doing it to him, or is it because the Joker's used all his money to recreate the theatre room? It's then Batman walks inside the theatre and is greeted with some horrible stench, where he finds tons of bodies with the Joker's smile, but none of them are actually alive. It's then that Joker appears on the screen and reveals that he has dug up seriously every one of his victims and placed them inside this theatre, and has used the designer's gas to reanimate them, and he's about to unleash the whole of it on Gotham City. It's then, this bit is quite good, the bodies start to begin to move, they turn around, walk towards Batman, and that's where that issue ends. So you can kind of see what I mean about it being a pointless issue. I might be blowing my own trumpet here, but I think I have actually made it more exciting than it actually is to read. I mean, overall I'm torn on this issue, because on one hand, it's a really enjoyable read, don't get me wrong, and I really did enjoy bits of it, but on the other hand, it's kind of like everyone wants to know about the Joker arc. Everyone wants to finally get to the action. They want to see the final battle between Batman and Joker. Yeah, fair enough, there's build-up of new characters like the Designer, the Underbroker, the Clownhunter and Punchline, but everyone wants to see it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Batman going forward with Alfred as a hallucination in his mind, but even so, I'm annoyed that I finished another Batman issue, and once again I'm finding myself in the exact same position as I was previously. There's an ending, it doesn't lead on to much, but I liked reading this book, don't get me wrong. But with that said, I have to look at this issue and say that almost everything that they did in it was basically of no coincidence. There's no consequence to it until the end. It was by far my least favourite issue. Sorry Tinian, mate, I've got to say I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it, if that makes sense. But then again, I guess that's what reading a comic is all about. It's all based on opinions, and that's my opinion. And guys, on that note, that is another review done. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below, please, because I'd love to discuss it with you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, turn on the notification bell somewhere on your screen right about now, because I really don't want you to miss any of the quality content I'm putting out for you all. And as always, guys, you should know this by now, but if I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the Geeky Guy window.
Bye.